Hey, how are you, everybody? It is Friday, November 20th, 2020. Hey, we got the 2020. Anyway, hope everybody's set for a good weekend. I sure am, because the Donald Trump administration has released the Kraken. In case anybody doesn't know who the Kraken is, that's attorney Sidney Powell. And in case you don't know who that is even further, remember Michael Flynn? She was the one that was able to get Michael Flynn off of all charges, have his case dismissed, and he got to walk a free man after these bullshit process crimes that the Mueller investigation charged him for. The poor man went fucking practically bankrupt, and he only admitted guilt when they threatened his family. Say, I will go after your son, I will find something on him, and I will incarcerate him. And he said, fuck it, no more. I'm guilty. Leave my family alone. So he took the guilty plea. But people saw through the bullshit. He got an attorney to fight, and he got victory. Now, this same woman is going after Dominion. Now, Dominion's the company or the software on these voting machines that are run by Democratic operatives. Now, initially, they were meant for foreign countries. The biggest example is Venezuela. Hugo Chavez got into power and he lost on a constitutional referendum that he wanted. He decided he was not going to get beat again anyway. So he got this company Dominion to give him voter machines that would make sure that he would win whatever he wanted to win anytime he wanted to win it. So, what ended up happening was these machines are being used in this country. Of course, Democrats in wrongdoing. Go figure. So what ended up happening is, I think it was an executive from Dominion. I don't know if he's a current or a former executive. Was watching the returns, and he saw that the 5 areas in question, when they stopped their counting all at once, he said he knew right away what was going on. And what ended up happening was, this is the theory that they're going to prove, that Donald Trump was winning by such a landslide. The algorithm that took so many votes from Donald Trump and gave them to Joe Biden, it's supposed to be not noticeable, crashed. He was winning by such a margin. So they had to shut down the voting. I don't know if they fixed the algorithm or just started packing votes into the the counting stations. Here, count these votes. Here's 200,000 Joe Biden votes. That's why you can see hundreds of thousand votes for Joe Biden and not one for Donald Trump, which is statistical impossibilities. There are statistical impossibilities. Just like they should go to court to have Michigan nullify their certification, because the two Republicans they signed off on the certification under duress, under threats of their families and them of violence, because they were disenfranchising black people and they were racists. And you'll see what happens when you do stuff like that. They were giving them veiled threats what was going to happen to them if they didn't certify that election. So that should be overturned for investigation, and these people ought to be under arrest for terroristic threats on a public official. They can't win without threats of violence and cheating. They wouldn't even be in the ballpark of victory. You couldn't even call it close if they played it fair. Well, anyway, this executive from Dominion said these were not supposed to, I believe they're not supposed to ever be used in this country. And when he saw them stop the vote counts, he knew right away what was happening. And he felt his duty to come forward and say, no, this is not supposed to happen here. This is wrong. This is what happened. And I think he's going to go to court and testify to it. That this was a thought out plan. See, even Andrew, I'll give Andrew Wilkow credit. He's a great radio host on the Patriot Channel on satellite radio, and he's from noon to 3. You can listen to him anytime you want on the podcast, but that's when he's live. He said that this was all a plan. This just wasn't put together willy nilly. Here, we're just going to throw out all these unsolicited votes, like 80, 100 million of them, and other things like that, coming up with these stupid laws where signatures don't have to match. If your ballot was wrong or something was wrong with it, don't you can come and cure it or procure whatever they said you could do. You could fix it. And a lot of these places don't even have laws that pertain to this stuff. So a lot of these things that the Democrats were doing were outside of law. Like, the legislator makes laws in a lot of states, but the judiciary was changing the laws so they can fit whatever parameters they need to dump more votes. That's why they say you can count votes for a week or two after the election. Oh, we're almost done counting. Oh, Donald Trump's winning. All right, we need more votes. There you go. Here's more. Count them up. It's a major fraud. It was a major ass fucking from day one. And the Democrats knew the plan. It was a plan. This should be investigated under RICO statutes, and everybody should be in jail that participated. There should be nobody standing with their freedom if they were a part of this. So Donald Trump released the Kraken, and I'd rather be attacked by a fucking gang of pit bulls than have her on my ass. She's that good. And if she's stating these things, I believe her. And I think she'll be victorious. The Trump administration will be victorious. And if justice is served like it's supposed to be, if we are a nation of laws and not a nation of men, these people will be hanging by their fucking thumbs in Guantanamo. Fucking Democrat bastards, you piece of shit. And I'll tell you what, you're not going to see any of this stuff on CNN or MSNBC, CNBC, because that's all fucking TV feces. Shit. They're not going to tell you anything. There's major happenings here, and they're not going to tell you anything because it's against what they want to happen. They are not news. They are fucking propagandists. Plain and simple. CNN is a propaganda arm of the Democrat Party. MSNBC, propaganda arm of the Democrat Party. CNBC, propaganda arm. All propaganda. Even Fox News is more and more on a daily basis becoming a propaganda arm of the Democrat Party. Donald Trump should never contest. Never concede. Excuse me. I wouldn't concede. It's like you bent me over, you're trying to fuck me in my ass, and I'm supposed to stop fighting and just let you stick it in? Fuck you! You Democrat pieces of shit and your TV feces. Go get real news. Go to Newsmax. Go to Blaze. Get the Epoch Times. It's an excellent newspaper. Get the real fucking news, and it's honest truth. I'll tell you what, if Donald Trump was doing this to the Democrats, I wouldn't want it either. Because I wouldn't want somebody that would stoop so fucking low to represent me in my government. And as Democrats, you should feel the same way. You don't want somebody representing you that's this fucking low of a piece of shit human being that they would resort to these things. It's wrong, and it's fucking wrong. That's all I can tell you. In Judgment Day, you'll have to meet your fucking maker and explain to yourselves how you took the country that he specifically gave us for our liberty and freedoms and how you fucking fraudulently took it over and fucked it over. I'm glad I don't have to explain that to my maker, but you're gonna have to. So expect a long eternity in hell, motherfuckers. And I always said it once, I'll say it 100 times. I'm willing to die for my liberty. Are you willing to die to take it from me? Come and get some, motherfuckers. Come and get some.